Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. I found this online. It says, Maduro says that not a Jew is not an authentic Jew. He's a scoundrel from Poland. Here's the video.
Esos judíos de las 12 tribus.
It says, let me turn this down a little bit, Salak.
Esos judíos de las 12 tribus.
It says, those Jews from the 12 tribes who are
Que no son los que mandan
not the ones who rule today in the
hoy en el Estado de Israel.
state of Israel. Those who govern today, not a Jew,
Los que hoy gobiernan Netanyahu no es
is not an authentic Jew. That's like we be saying that all the time. That's why we call him not a Jew.
judío auténtico. Él es un
He's an authentico. He is a scoundrel who comes from Poland. you know, when I was on the highways and hedges today, Maduro, I didn't like you, man. I didn't like you at all, man. I thought, because clearly you got some wisdom, and you know what? That says a lot, man. Because the Lord gives you that understanding.
palache que viene por allá de Polonia. Para
For those who like to talk about religions
los que les gusta hablar de religiones y dicen
and say that this is a religious
que
conflict,
esto es un conflicto religioso. No, esto no es
no, this is not a religious conflict.
un conflicto religioso. El conflicto
The conflict that exists since the foundation of
que hay desde la fundación del Estado
the state of Israel is a geopolitical
de
conflict.
Israel es un conflicto geopolítico.
It is a political conflict. Oh, man. And he's right. Because that state was created to conquer the
Que ese Estado lo crearon para conquistar todo el Medio Oriente y Asia
entire Middle East and Central Asia, to take
Central y quitarle las riquezas,
away their riches and colonize those peoples.
colonizar esos pueblos. Es el proyecto
It is the Zionist project that they say
sionista que dicen que va
goes from the Jordan River to the Euphrates
desde el río Jordán hasta el Éufrates y más allá.
and beyond.
Esos judíos de las 12 tribus, que no son los que mandan hoy en el Estado de Israel. Los que hoy gobiernan Netanyahu no es judío auténtico. Él es un cambalache que viene por allá de Polonia. Para los que les gusta hablar de religiones y dicen que esto es un conflicto religioso. No, esto no es un conflicto religioso. El conflicto que hay desde la fundación del Estado de Israel es un conflicto geopolítico. Porque ese Estado lo crearon para conquistar todo el Medio Oriente y Asia Central y quitarle las riquezas y colonizar esos pueblos. Es el proyecto sionista que dicen que van desde el río Jordán hasta el Éufrates y más allá.
Hey, that's the spirit, man. I thought he actually said that he was a Jew, but I wish I could find this whole video. Let me ask Grok, as a matter of fact. Where can I find? Maduro says that Netanyahu is not an authentic Jew. He's a scoundrel from Poland. Let's look up this word, scoundrel. That word's in the Bible too. I'm thinking of a precept. I think it. When you look at the word, I can't think of the word right now. Scoundrel, a dishonest or unscrupulous person. Let's see what unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous. Having or showing no moral principles, not honest or fair. Hey, that's Esau. Unscrupulous. There's a word in the Bible. It says, I'm gonna type in scoundrel, but there's another word. It says the wicked, the churl. When you look at that word, just put in churl real quick. Isaiah 32:5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Now, when you look at this word liberal, it pretty much means someone of nobility. Okay, so the vile person, Esau, will no more be called liberal, someone of like nobility. So he's a vile person. He won't be called liberal anymore. Nor the churl said to be bountiful. And let's look at this word churl in Isaiah 32:5. Nor the churl, a scoundrel. Okay, a knave. Let's look this word knave up. A dishonest or unscrupulous man. In cards, a jack. Knave is sometimes confused with knave. Knave is primarily a deceitful, untrustworthy, or dishonest man, but the term also refers to the jack in a deck of cards and historically meant a male servant or boy. That's Esau. Evolving from Old English words for boy or servant. And this is what he be calling us. He be calling me, you boy. But he's the actual boy. Those terms actually belong to him. This is why I'm telling you, he's a nigga. In modern context, it's often used poetically or in fantasy settings, like in role-playing games, RPGs. And that's what Esau is, man. Let me grab this in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter. Always got to go back to where it all began. Genesis 25 and verse 25, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. As a matter of fact, I should have started up. Genesis 25 and 23. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So that's what makes him a servant. Okay. And then when you jump down, who came out first? If the elder's going to serve the younger. I'll keep reading. Genesis 25 and 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So there you go. So that's why he's a boy. He's a servant. That's why scoundrel is actually a biblical definition of what he truly is. So the fact that he's using the right words to describe the so-called white man is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. In the sense of withholding, niggardly, churl. He's a nigger. Told you. It wasn't lying, man. Let's look at this word niggardly.
Niggardly.
Niggardly. Ungenerous, stingy. Okay. That's what he is. Just like a nigger. Like a niggard. Let's look this word up. He likes to put the ER, but he really needs the ARD. That's what he is. He's a niggard. An ungenerous niggard. That's what you are, Esau. The word niggard and niggardly are etymologically unrelated to the highly offensive and inflammatory racial slur euphemistically referred to as the N-word, despite the word's visual and auditory resemblance to it. Because of that resemblance, however, both niggard and niggardly are often taken to be offensive. Good. Hope that offends Esau, because that's exactly what the hell you are. Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So you're going to get these curses. And one of the curses, Deuteronomy 28, verse 30, I think it's 30, what is it? It might be 40. Is the byword. Let's see if I can find that. I'll just control F it. Yeah, Deuteronomy 28, verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. So these bywords are upon us. You know, being called black, being called nigger, spick, wetback, savage. You know how Esau. This is all perfect terms that describe him. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to go into that. But let's go back to Isaiah 32. So he's a scoundrel. Isaiah 32:5. As a matter of fact, let's look it up. Isaiah 32:5 prophesies a future time of perfect justice and righteousness where societal values are corrected, meaning the vile will no longer be called liberal, nor the churl is said to be bountiful. When we looked up that word churl, churl pretty much means a deceitful, ultimately a wicked person, and that's Esau. It signifies that in God's coming kingdom, fools will not be honored, and Esau is a fool, according to Psalms 14:1. Let's grab that. To the chief musician, the Psalm of David, the fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So that's Esau. He don't believe in the Lord. If he did, he wouldn't run a society the way he does. This signifies that in God's coming judgment, fools will not be honored. Scoundrels won't receive undeserved respect. And that's what he gets. He gets undeserved respect. Okay, that's all he has. Because he's ultimately getting this shameful spewing on his glory. Okay, the scriptures talk about let me see it. Let me put in shameful spewing. I don't know if this is the precept I'm looking for. Habakkuk 2 verse 16, that are filled with shame for glory. So this is that undeserved respect that he has. It's ultimately shame. If you go around robbing and stealing and killing everybody, and when no one did anything to you, they would have dealt normal with you, you know. Anybody, even if you don't, it's common not to like somebody. It's all right, you know. You don't have to be around them 24/7. But see, Esau, he's not that type of person where he just don't like. He hates himself. Okay, his inner thoughts are just, he hates himself, man. And he projects that hate onto other people because that's what makes him feel better. By making you feel like him, they tell you that, and that's why he's going to set up a situation to bring you down to your knee the way he felt when he was in Genesis, the 25th chapter, when he came back looking for something to eat. And Jake was whipping up something good. It was smelling good, and he sold his birthright. So he gonna make you get hungry, and till you're at the point to die, like he said. So he can put you through, make you feel the way he feels. Hence the saying, misery loves company. Thou are filled with shame for glory. So he gets glory, these undeserved respect for something he deserves punishment for. The shit that he has, everything he stole, he needs to get his ass whooped for it. It's like a badass fucking kid, man. That's what he is. Let me grab this in the book of Ecclesiastes 10 verse 16. Pretty much sums it up. Ecclesiastes 10 verse 16, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child and thy prince is eaten the morning. So your land is going to be destroyed because your king is a child. He don't operate under the rules of the house. So he going to get his ass whooped. Drink thou also and let thy foreskin be uncovered. So your foreskin is what covers your meat. And he going to uncover that. So meaning the things that's hidden, that's going to be exposed. He's being exposed for that glory that he has, showing you that it's shameful. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee. So the cup is the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that are starting to fall upon our enemies. Hence Esau he's being called a scoundrel. That's a biblical term from another president. That's on a high level right there. So someone that's in a position of power is saying the same thing biblically to him. So that's the word going out, which is beautiful. There's nothing Maduro could have done better than actually speak the truth to power. That's more powerful than any carnal weapon that he has. Okay, it tells you in Ephesians the 6th chapter, a warfare is not against the flesh and blood, principalities, the spirits. You shine a light on this devil, man, that hurts. Okay, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So what's shamefully spewing by bringing out the facts, shining a light on this devil. like it tells you in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter. Where did I want to go? Back to Isaiah 32. So he's that churl. Isaiah 32:6. For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. Let's look this up. Let's look this up real quick. Isaiah 32:6 describes the corrupt nature of fools or vile persons, Edomites, who devise wickedness, practice hypocrisy. A hypocrite is an actor. Okay, so he acts like he's righteous, but he's not, and that's another shameful spewing. Tells you in the book of Isaiah, the 26th chapter, in the land of uprightness, he will deal treacherously, and that's what he's doing. That's what we see on a day-to-day basis. When you watch the news, that's prophecy being fulfilled. Isaiah 26 in verse 10, let favor be showed to the wicked. So he's been given favor. He hasn't been punished for the sins he's committed. That's favor. Yet will he not learn righteousness? So he hasn't learned righteousness from not being unpunished. He continues to do the wickedness that got him into the position that he's in. Now he's fully set in that wickedness, according to Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. In the land of uprightness, which is Jerusalem, will he deal unjustly, and he's dealing very unjustly. As you can see, the bombing campaigns that he's doing over there on, no one's truly innocent, because all of them are a bunch of heathen, but the way he had the Balfour Declaration, he had covenants he made with these people, the same thing he did with the Native Americans when his red ass was over here starting this over here. All right, he's doing the same shit in real time, in this time. And he's broadcasting it all over the world for everyone to see. He don't give a fuck what you think about him. He about to come down on you too, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. So he's not going to behold the majesty of the Lord. Let's look at this word majesty.
Strong's H.
It says the excellent things. Yeah, you're not. That belongs to us. That's our. It belongs to Israel. Let's look this up before I go back to Isaiah 32:6. Isaiah 26:10 means that even when God shows favor, calm, and grace to the wicked, they fail to learn righteousness, continuing in evil and ignoring God's majesty. Even in a land where uprightness is known, highlighting their persistent spiritual blindness and rebellion against divine standards. This verse contrasts them with the righteous who seek God and wait for his judgment, showing the wicked's inability to to learn from goodness or hardship. Right, but what is this word majesty? Going back to the spiritual blind and persistence. But it said majesty said the excellent things. For example, some of the excellent things Israel's going to experience is everlasting life, a righteous society, okay, abundant blessings. He's not going to get that. He got war in that land. We're going to be able to stop war. He can say with his mouth, he can formulate the words in his mouth to say how he wants peace on the earth, but he can never do it. That's not his purpose. His purpose is Proverbs 16:4. The Lord had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So he's here to be destroyed. Isaiah 32:7, the instruments also of the churl, a scoundrel, a dishonest, unscrupulous. I forgot how you said that word. But what it said, a knave, unscrupulous man. I forgot what it is. Unscrupulous, having no moral principles, ultimately wicked. You know, I say a lot of words, it's just wicked, but that's what it makes it simpler. Trail don't actually mean wicked, but a dishonest person, someone who's morally, what did it say? I can't forget. Morally, no moral principles, not honest or fair. He's just not righteous. He's not. Tells you in a couple of, who could make that crooked what the Lord have made, who can make that straight what the Lord have made crooked? Where's that at? I think that's Ecclesiastes. Is it 7? And 13, consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he had made crooked? He made Esau crooked. You can't straighten him out. There's nothing you can do about him, except allow the Lord to destroy his ass. That's the only thing you could do, and get glorified when he does it. Isaiah 32:7, the instruments also are the churl of evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor. Okay, the poor are the Israelites. With lying words. See, he's a liar. Psalms 58:3 tells you the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Even when the needy speaketh right. So the needy is speaking right. We're the needy. We're the poor. Okay. Isaiah 14:32. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. That's right. So that's a code word for the Israelites. Okay. Let's look at this word instruments real quick. Kalai, which is like a weapon. This word is the same word that's used in Deuteronomy, the 25th chapter, when it describes a woman is not supposed to wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Where is that? I thought it was Deuteronomy 25. And I can't remember where it is, but let's grab it real quick. Just, I want to see if I'm going off. A woman's not supposed to wear that where pertains to a man, KJV. 22:5, not 25:2. Deuteronomy 22:5, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. And Esau loves putting on women's clothing. He's an abomination unto the Lord. When you look at this word wear, no, that which pertaineth unto is the same word kalai that I'm looking at in Ecclesi. Where am I looking at up at? In Isaiah 32. It's the same word, okay? Article, vessel, implement. This is the word for instrument. Ultimately, it's going into a vessel, instrument, a weapon. So the instruments, his instruments also are the churl of evil. Okay, so he uses devices that they're meant to destroy you Israelites. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor, and he does that with laws, oppression. He sets you up, whatever he got to do to get what he needs. Okay. What else did Maduro say in this video? I forgot.
Esos judíos de las 12 tribus, que no
Those Jews from the 12 tribes, that's right.
son los que mandan hoy en el Estado de Israel. Los que hoy...
And he's saying they're not the people, and that's right. Revelation 2, verse 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So he's reading his Bible. That's a beautiful thing. Blessed is he that readeth. Revelation 3 and 9, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Who was he talking about? Amos 3 and 1, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. What are they being punished for? They look like they're doing the punishment, which doesn't fit the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. These are supposed to, they got paperwork showing they go all the way back to this. Isaiah 10 verse 5, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the street. So he's sending the modern day Assyrian is Esau. He's sending them against a hypocritical nation, which are you Israelites, because that's the rod of his anger. Okay, that's the staff in his hand. Okay, that he's using to punish you for being hypocritical, just like he is today, acting like you're serving the Lord, but you're not. And that's why Esau's punishing your ass. Psalm 17 in verse number 13, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked. Esau, Edom, Malachi 1 and 4, which is thy sword. So now we know that Esau is a sword. He's just like the Lord was using the ancient Assyrians as a sword, or a form of judgment on the Israelites. That's what he's using Esau for. From men, so not just a sword, he's telling you from men which are thy hand, which is talking about the Edomites. The Edomites is his left hand. Just like Yahweh Shai is his right. O Lord, ultimately Satan's his left. Yahweh Shai is his right, but Satan's using the Edomites to fulfill his will down here on the earth. Just like Yahweh Shai got his elect down here on the earth doing what they need to be doing. It says, O Lord Yahweh, from men of the world which have their portion in this life. So Esau got his portion in this life. Tells you in Genesis 27 that he got the fatness of the earth and dew of heaven. That's part of his blessing. So he's experiencing his blessing today. In whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. So ultimately, he has us over here. Okay, we're the hid treasure. We're his inheritance. He's given us over to Esau. Okay. Let me see. What else did I want to get? Maduro. Deuteronomy 33. And 24. And of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children, let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. And that's why they're going to Venezuela, to try to steal his blessing. Just like Esau wants to do with all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He wants you to give up your birthright. But ultimately, it's not going to work. You might have grabbed Maduro, but Maduro going to be reigning again because he's Israel. So, I caught him praying to the so-called white man, but who knows nowadays if he actually knows the name? So much propaganda on the news. Who knows? Maybe that's why I'm thinking maybe he knows. Clearly he knows. He knows something if he's talking like that. Okay. Deuteronomy 33 verse 25, thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days so shall thy strength be. There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and in his excellency on the sky. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. Ooh. And that's his blessing. And the fact that the Lord didn't kill him. The Lord didn't kill Maduro, man. So whatever trial he got to go through, sometimes the Lord got to take away he don't give a fuck who you are, man. He'll bring you down low. But sometimes when you go to the pit, that's when you learn about the Lord. He might be able to reveal more to him. Get him prepared, because we at the end, man. We at the end, man. He might want to clean him up. Get him prepared to meet Yahweh Shai. Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Who knows, man? Maduro might be fighting for his crown right now. Okay, you never know. We all gonna be faced with some shit. It is what it is. Revelation 2:11, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. So who knows? Maybe Maduro was taken out of power so you don't get hurt of the second death. He might be part of the church. Who knows, man? What's this also?
In light of this big socialist shift in big cities and the rampant fraud reports out of states like Minnesota, more Americans are voicing growing outrage, and they're wondering why they're paying taxes at all. Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote, almost every Trump voter I see on X is so fed up that they are planning a 2026 tax revolt.
I just did a video on this. And this came out today. Hey, that's the spirit.
Americans barely make ends meet, and the government consistently gives their hard-earned tax dollars to foreign countries, foreign wars, and foreigners the U.S. government has brought and allowed into America.
And look at that's his tongue falling upon himself. She was a part of his party. She's tired of his shit because she sees that he's kissing Israel's ass. But what's wrong with these Republicans is they don't know prophecy. They so far up Jesus Christ's ass that they don't see that they worship a false god. What's that precept? Surely our fathers have taught us lies. Surely our fathers have inherited lies. KJV. Not inhabited, inherited. Yeah, Jeremiah 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And that's what you're going to do when you see the Lord. When you find out you've been oppressing his children. You're going to see the Lord in us. We're your gods. We're going to be the Lord over you. You ain't going to have access to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You're going to be worshiping his sons through us. Okay? We're gonna be lords over you. You know, things that you pray for, oh, Lord, I hope you heal me from this. You're going to be praying to us like that. And we're going to decide we should heal you or not. But we're probably going to look at you like you're full of shit and probably just let you suffer so you can go through some affliction so you can really learn a lesson. Put you through the test. Put you through the furnace of affliction. That's if we're not really dealing with you like that. We'll put you through a refining process. Let's see what else she says.
I just got off work, and it dawned on me that 30% of everything I made today probably went to some stupid scam. These people clearly have no regard for the American taxpayer. What?
You look like a fucking AI generated video. This is probably all fucking bullshit.
Soever. Until this stops, none of us should be paying tax dollars.
See, this is how evil the time we live in, man. This is, because what he's saying, it makes sense, it's true, working on the minds of people, but this is AI generated. I mean, unless you really can't tell. But this dude look fake as hell.
Like, just go after the fraudsters and get our money back.
This is not just about money being stolen anymore. It's about a growing
I've seen her on X, so I don't think this is AI generated. Maybe it just looks like that.
feeling that being a good citizen, being a hardworking person, paying your taxes may not be worth it. This kind of feeling shapes culture.
Go to work, go be a slave, go get stolen from, go fund terrorism, go fund illegal aliens to go live off of your back. Have a great time today. Have an amazing Monday being a slave in your own country, actively getting replaced, and our elected officials are doing absolutely nothing about it.
See, you don't want to have a mindset like this dude. This dude's an idiot. You got to know these precepts. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart. This is not your rest. He talking about his elected officials. Nigga, you in slavery, man. You supposed to be subject to payments. You should be seeking the Lord. Is he? No. He's looking for Esau to get his act together. He's trying to make that which is crooked straight, and it's not going to happen. So his worldview is vanity.
Of course, the federal government reminds everyone that tax evasion is a crime.
I already did a full video on that, grabbed all the precepts, and I'm not doing it again. Maduro arrives in Manhattan as flurry of law enforcement seen at heliport.
Who is following these helicopters landing in New York, which you were looking at just moments ago. Omar, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so you heard John Miller talking about 3 helicopters that took off from Newburgh, headed out this way. We just saw 3 helicopters land, matching roughly the time it would take to fly by helicopter here. What you're looking at right now is what has been an increased law enforcement, one that's increased pretty steadily over the last few hours since we've been out here. We actually have been pushed much further back. This is the heliport here where all of this, the variety of law enforcement, predominantly NYPD, but we've seen federal officers here as well, including DEA agents, a mass of them that just came in within the last few minutes to this area as well. We're waiting to see, we can hear the helicopters. We saw them land just beyond our view here, 3 of them, it appeared. So we're waiting for them to go into what would be sort of this indoor area, and then they would come into presumably one of these vehicles where they would then go for processing here at a federal building in New York City. Now, for those that aren't familiar with sort of the geography of Manhattan,
they brought a foreign president to New York City, man. That's crazy.
In New York City, we're on the west side of Manhattan, what's known as the West Side Highway. Both lanes in both directions have been closed off by law enforcement to this point. This is typically a very busy area. We are now seeing lights from the New York Police Department turn on. That has not been the case previously to this point. We can still hear the motor of the helicopters to this, but I can't stress enough, this has been the highest level of law enforcement presence we have seen to this point, one that has been steadily increasing over the past few hours, Jessica.
Yeah, and Omar, when we see the DEA agents there walking...
Oh, I can't wait for the Lord to give us power, man. It's going to make all this shit look foolish. All of this whole thing, it's just pomp. Helicopters, tanks, police officers, white boys all over the place, man. It's just to show like a grandeur. Look how powerful I am. It's like pride. That's all it is. But it still don't remove what was said in the Bible.
Past the cameras as well. Okay, Omar, stay with us. Let's bring John Miller back in to help us understand what we're looking at here. John, Omar describing the scene. We are in the middle. It's actually very close to where we're broadcasting from right now. It's right behind our building. But we are in the middle of Manhattan where this is happening. Take us through what you're seeing in this scene.
I don't see Maduro, so I'm going to keep moving. What else I got? I'm going to say Maduro arrives at Brooklyn Detention Center.
One of the big concerns you can tell from just the way the police have been acting here today with the arrival of the SWAT teams and so on was to make sure that they could get him in here safely, securely, and they appear to have done that at this point, Caitlin. He is now inside the Metropolitan Detention Center here in Brooklyn, and he begins the process being held in custody until he awaits trial. Of course, we expect that he might be in court for his first appearance or perhaps his arraignment as soon as Monday. Caitlin?
Yo, that's crazy. They locked him up on a Friday, so he had to sit for 2 days like a regular Negro Latino. Yo, that's crazy. Sitting in the joint in a police station out at wherever Brooklyn Detention Center over the weekend to wait for court. Yo, he did that ill, man. It's all, but that's what the Lord will do, man. He'll bring you down low. You know, really make you sit there and think about what the hell's going on, man. You know, and this when you're in situations like this, man, there's nothing you could do is hope the Lord, you know, help you out. You know, that's crazy that they. So he got locked up. Now he got to sit in there, a president sitting in the joint until Monday. That's just crazy.
Evan, do we know if he's gotten a mugshot, been fingerprinted? Has that already happened, or is that what will happen now that he's inside this facility?
That's all it is. It's like a humiliation ritual or something, man. That's what the Lord's doing with him. What's that? No, I don't want to say pride goes before destruction, but let me see. I forgot what precept I'm thinking about. I can barely think of it.
Yeah, we're told that some of that happened already at the DEA field office. That's one of the reasons why they brought him when he came in from the Air Force Base. They flew him to that heliport on the west side, which was the closest to the DEA field office, which is on the west side of Manhattan. And from there, they brought him back to the heliport and brought him to another helipad, which is at a park just right near this facility, again, right on the Brooklyn waterfront. I think you saw those extraordinary pictures of the helicopter going by with the view of the Statue of Liberty, something that he would have been able to see as he flew over the New York waterfront. And now at this point, he is inside the detention center in Brooklyn, where he will await his trial.
Whatever.
$1,500.
Esau, when you gonna await your trial? It says, "Stay calm, we will win." Venezuela Interior Minister after U.S. strikes.
After assessing the damage caused by the criminal attack, the terrorist attack against our people, against our homeland, against our electric...
They're calling that a terrorist attack, man. Yeah, I don't blame them.
...installations, against the Bolivarian Revolution, and against those who have nothing to do with the Bolivarian Revolution. It is an attack against Venezuela, against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. And from here, from this beautiful place, I call for calm for our people. Trust in the leadership of the high political military command for the situation we are going through. Much calm. Let no one fall into despair. Let no one fall into making things easier for the invading enemy beyond one of us or another or any of us. Here is a people who are organized, a people who know what they have to do. We hope that the world will speak out about this attack, or the world organizations will come to you. The world organizations will make public their complicity in the invading attack, and at the end of the attacks, we will win. Long live the homeland. Loyal always and loyal always, never. Doodlos?
Oh man, Esau love. Oh man, that voiceover was funny as hell. But this is taking place in Boston.
Gathered this
It says dozens. He probably gonna explain it in the video.
gathered this afternoon on Boston Common, calling the operation outrageous and a violation of international law. Our team coverage continues now with WBZ's Logan Hall, who is live for us on the Common tonight.
Yeah, Ken, that's right. Good evening. There are lots of emotions right now being felt across the greater Boston area about what's happening in Venezuela. I've had conversations with Venezuelans who tell me that they feel liberated today, but there's also that protest that happened here on the Boston Common, a sizable protest with a large crowd of people. We're going to show you some images from that protest featuring signs showing people holding these signs saying no war for oil and protesting the U.S. involvement in Venezuela altogether. People that we spoke to today had concerns about the motive for the attack and what the future would hold for Venezuela.
For people to be able to live with sovereignty, to stop just the resource extraction that's just fueling wars and violence all over the world. We don't see this as a single event. We see this as part of a much bigger phenomenon that people are saying no to.
The actions we saw from the Trump administration are a violation of international law. They're also a violation of American law. I think no matter how you feel about our president, if another country came into the United States and kidnapped the U.S. president, we would be outraged.
So coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on WBZ, we'll hear more from folks from this protest. We'll also hear from local Venezuelans about how they feel about what's happening in their home country. For now, reporting live in Boston, I'm Logan Hall, WBZ News.
All right,
Yeah, hot shit that I... Nope. Just in, world leaders react to capture of Venezuela Maduro. Yeah. So, I mean, it don't really matter how you feel. You should feel how the Lord feels. Okay, he tells you not to marvel at the matter when these things happen. Because these things are going to continue to happen. They're happening all over the world. What precept am I thinking about? Ecclesiastes 8. And, Ecclesiastes 5, verse 8. It says, if thou seest the oppression of the poor in violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. So you're not supposed to marvel at the way these world leaders are conducting business. There's someone higher than them, which is the Most High God, Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai. They're the ones who are orchestrating these things to happen. They're authorizing it before it happens. So you're not supposed to marvel at these matters. The Lord wants you to endure. But a lot of y'all are going to be caught up with all these different mindsets, and it's going to put you in a position to be destroyed. So if that's your lot, that's your lot. Just in, world leaders react to capture of Venezuela's Maduro.
So now let's go to reaction that's pouring in from world leaders this morning who are waking up to a new reality with what happened overnight. We have our CB Cotton, who has been following reaction from all over the world. CB, there's been plenty of reaction here in the United States. Democrats, Republicans split on whether or not this was an illegal or legal move. But around the world, there's also harsh reaction as well. What can you tell us, CB?
Hey, Brian, that's right. Well, this morning, the UN Secretary General released a statement saying he is deeply concerned that international law may not have been respected. As you mentioned, global leaders are watching as all of this unfolds to see what comes next for Venezuela and U.S. foreign policy. In Europe, the European Council president released a statement, Antonio Costa, and he said he was following the developments with, quote, great concern, urging de-escalation and respect of international law. Some Latin American countries are also making similar calls. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum reposted the official statement of her country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which...
Salakia, I don't know who this dude, who is this? Who is Antonio Costa? Yoko president? What the fuck is Yoko? I gotta find that out real quick. Salakia. Antonio Costo. Antonio, you gotta know who these Costo. Costa, president of the European Council. And what the hell is he? Prime Minister of Portugal. Okay. That makes more sense, because I'm confused by his. He looked like a Jake, but kind of looked Spanish, but then kind of looked like I don't know what that he mixed up with a lot of I don't know who the hell. He got a lot going on with him.
Also making similar calls, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum reposted the official statement of her country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which condemned the strikes as a violation of the United Nations and called for dialogue, not force. U.S. adversaries are also weighing in. Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs writing in part on X, quote, "The pretext used to justify these actions are untenable." Russia reaffirms its solidarity with the Venezuelan people. Iran and its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, which also has a long history of conflict with the U.S., well, he has rattled off a series of posts this morning about the strike, including one which says in part, quote, "What's important is when one realizes an enemy wants to force something on one's government or nation with false claims, they must stand firmly against the enemy." But there are also voices of support. Argentina's president, a strong ally of President.
That's not, she didn't read it all. It says, "We won't give in to them with reliance on God and confidence in the people's support will bring the enemy to its knees." So that's what the Iran they call him
As president, a strong
their supreme leader.
Ally of President Trump wrote, quote, "Freedom advances. Long live freedom." And in the UK, reform leader and
Free Edom.
staunch Trump ally Nigel Farage, he questioned the legality of the attack, but said it may lead to a favorable outcome. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
I gotta read it because she ain't reading it. It says the American actions in Venezuela overnight are unorthodox and contrary to international law. But if they make China and Russia think twice, it may be a good thing. I hope the Venezuelan people can now turn a new leaf without Maduro. Yeah, you know it ain't gonna be no damn new leaf, because what country did he implement foreign policy and it worked successfully? It failed in Iraq. Iraq's still a shithole. Well, not. I don't want to call it a shithole, but it's still. Well, it's stabilized a little bit, but it's not. That's after he left. Okay, but now they're going to war with like Pakistan or something like that. So that area is just hostile, anyways. But when he was there for 20 plus years, you know, it was chaos. You know, you look at Gaddafi, still messed up over there. You look at Ukraine, messed up. Syria, messed up. Venezuela's gonna be messed up. Everywhere this devil goes, man, he just fucks it up. He's not gonna turn it into anything good. Because he ain't good. He ain't doing nothing good in his own country. That's why people in the Boston Commons complaining about him. But they don't understand that he's broke. He don't have anything, man. He gotta go out robbing and stealing. He gotta go get a lick. Just like a nigga would do. If he was broke and his ribs were touching, he would go out, grab a gun, and get the robbing and stealing. That's what he's been doing. Let's keep going, though.
Had more a reserved take, saying he wanted to make it clear that the UK was not involved in these strikes, and he believes everyone should uphold international law. He also added that he wants to speak to President Trump and other UK allies. Brian,
he's been kissing his ass on everything that he's done, and he ain't gonna do shit. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He's a waste of time.
We're going to monitor it. Back to you.
No doubt. U.S. Ambassador to
He's a yes man, ass kisser.
the United Nations, Michael Waltz, just putting on X, this is not regime change, this is justice. Maduro was indicted, illegitimate dictator that led a declared narco-terrorism organization responsible for killing American citizens. All eyes will be on New York City this upcoming week, as well as...
Why don't you talk about your crimes, Esau? Why don't you talk about that and what you've been doing? How'd you get to this level? What drugs have you been selling? Damn devil's full of shit.
Us, Venezuela, CB Cotton, thank you from the United Nations.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagna.
Nigga got a CVS on every corner talking about drug dealers. Trump speaks on Venezuela's strikes and capture of President Maduro.
As we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country.
Oh, there you go. Robbed him. We are going, so he's occupying Venezuela. Makes me think of Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. So that's what he did. He came up with a plan. Listen, we're going to do this. We're going to pay this dude off. It actually made me think of Rahab the harlot. How she helped Israel go in. She helped the spies. You know, on our end, she's in Hebrews the 11th chapter. But to her own people, she's a traitor. There's nothing good about Rahab when you look at it from her people's point of view. Of course, to us, she's righteous because she understood that there's only one power. But to her own people, that ain't the case. And I'm bringing her up as an example because you guys worship a false god. So a lot of these, just like that lady who won the Nobel Peace Prize that was fighting against Maduro. Her God, she thinks Esau's God is the true God. So she's not faithful like Rahab. Rahab actually saw and believed in the splitting of the Red Sea and the destroying all those other enemies. But he has people with around him that are pretty much believing in Esau's gods. And that's how he got taken down. Micah 2:2, and they covered fields, which is land, and take them by violence, just like he did. He blew some things up in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, and they stole him, and they occupying his land. How many times
until
has he done
such
this?
time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious. Until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind.
Yeah, so he's taking it over for your so he can treat you guys better. Hell out of here.
We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it essentially until such time as a proper transition can take place.
He just had to throw that in there. Yeah, we're going to run it. Yeah, they run in Venezuela.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time.
Oh, so you're going to make it boom?
They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place.
If only you were in there, right?
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
He gonna start making money for the country.
And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore.
Anyways, he gonna make it great. He gonna make Venezuela great again. I gotta grab this too. It says, I guess we saved 50 million. Rubio jokes about bounty on Maduro after ousting.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward.
Whoa. Fugitive of America. Esau is a fugitive and a vagabond to the Lord's justice. I gotta grab that. I just love how you learn the scriptures and you're like, it's so hypocritical. Genesis 4 verse 12, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. So that's you, Esau. You're a fugitive and a vagabond. All these crimes you've committed, going all the way back to Cain, you got to pay for that. And then the crimes you even commit yet, you're going to come down with great wrath according to Revelation 12 and 12. So he's still got more wickedness to do.
Which I guess we saved $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this, we're going to do... This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out, and I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences, and, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. This is a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
If you don't,
he kissed really hard, man. But like you see, man, what can you do, man? We all gonna have to face some shit. Maduro's locked up today. A lot of people are gonna get locked up. This whole place is gonna be a surveillance state, according to Second Entrance, the 16th chapter. So better get prepared. As a matter of fact, I wanted to look up the word. Cool. Cool. Oh, man. Define a coup. Coup can refer to several things. Most commonly, no. A coup? How do you spell it? I forgot how to say it. When you overthrow a government, something like that. A coup d'etat, okay, French for stroke of the state or blow to the government, is defined as the sudden, decisive, and illegal removal or displacement of the executive authority or an existing government, usually by a small group of elites within the state apparatus, such as the military or political fraction. So they just ran a coup right in front of your face. And who's doing that? Esau's doing that. I'm going to end it with this. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not Esau who runs the whole world, who is? Who's doing it? Who has the power to implement policies, break laws, change the face of the Lord, change, do regime change like that? Who's doing that? That's Esau. Okay, so if you think that he's coming to help you or he's telling you the truth, something's wrong with you, man. And I'm gonna end it right there. Lord's will, this is